Maiduguri, from Maiduguri back to Gombe State. So during the debrief, he was asking, he said, General, I was looking for the corridor, but I couldn't find it. So I told him the corridor is not a geographical entity, but it is an idea. So that this shows the different ideas people have about Operation Safe Corridor. Operation Safe Corridor was established in around 2015, 2016, at the peak of our insurgency, as a response to the challenge of how to handle low-risk people who were volunteering to surrender, because there were very many at that time. These people were referred to as low risk because of the circumstances in which they became members of the group. And what are those circumstances? We recall that at a time, places like Goza, Madagali, Bama, and all those population centers were under the occupation of these criminals. So as kinetic operations were intensifying and they were being cleared from all those places, they packed a lot of able-bodied men from those communities, conscript them and force them to join their group. Some of them, as they are traveling from one place to the other, they ambush vehicles, carry innocent people, take them to the bush, force them to fight for them. So, and to work for them in different, buying, fetching water and all those things for them. So, as kinetic operations are intensifying, as those areas are being cleared, some of them seize the opportunity to run and surrender. So the question now is that, what do we do with those that have surrendered? So this is the reason why Operation Safe Corridor was created. And so far, since the creation of Operation Safe Corridor, most of all those low-risk people, and let me make this very clear, the issue of low risk is not what Operation Safe Corridor decides. Operation Safe Corridor has 17 ministry, departments, and agencies supporting it, and other international UN organizations and others. So amongst the entities supporting the ministry, department, and agencies supporting Operation Safe Corridor, you have the Ministry of Justice, which is responsible for screening all those that have surrendered or all those that were arrested. And in the process of the screening, they differentiate those who have no case to answer, those who were considered to, in their own way, victims also, like in those circumstances that I highlighted the other time. So they classify those ones as low risk and hand them over to Operation Safe Corridor, because the question is, why don't just allow them to go straight back to and join the community? That will be difficult because they've already stayed in the bush. They've stayed with these criminals. Some of them, that is their first time of even witnessing somebody being killed. So the trauma and all those other bad things they have experienced makes it important that they are, administered some psychosocial therapy. Some of them are even into drugs, because we have the NDLA also among the ministry, department, and agencies supporting Operation Safe Corridor. The NDLA is there to ensure that those that have drug issues are weaned from their drug addiction. Then those that have traumas and all those things, we have experts from the Nigerian Correctional Center that deals with them, because they are the one responsible for the radicalization aspect. Then to ensure that they can be productive to the society by the time they are finishing their program at the center, you have skills and vocations that they have learned, ranging from barbing, tailoring, furniture making, and others, so that at the end of the day, they can be productive to the community they have been reintegrated to. And you have the National Directorate of Employment as a member of this team. Yes. you have the National Directorate of Employment that is in charge of their vocation and all those things. Now let's come to the characterization, the classification into low and high risk. Low, medium, and higher the case may be. The high risk, the low risk, like I said, are those ones who, after screening, they are discovered not to have joined the group out of their will. Rather, they were conscripted, or they joined it as a result of being forced after being kidnapped and abducted. Then you have the medium and high risk, who are main members of the group. Those ones, they don't surrender. The average Boko Haram core member will not surrender to you. So those ones, they are captured during kinetic operations, and once they are screened and are found to be the hardcore members, they face the criminal justice system. So they are sentenced accordingly and imprisoned. So those are within that is, you have two sets of justice that operates in this case. You have the transitional justice and you have the criminal justice. So the criminal justice system is still live and active. As operation intensifies, any of them that is arrested during combat, they are tried and found guilty and sentenced accordingly. So this is the categorization. I think it is necessary for Nigerians to know that those that come to Operation Safe Corridor are those that the judiciary has screened them, found that there's no basis to even try them in the first place, because they themselves, so to say, they are victims of the circumstances they found themselves. So in order to prepare them and remove all those bad characters that they may have imbibed while in the bush, that's why they are brought for the radicalization, rehabilitation, before they are reintegrated back into the society. So as both kinetic operation is going side by side with the non-kinetic operation through the DDRO, so also is the criminal justice system running its course in conjunction with the transitional justice system, which is about peace building between those that are to be reintegrated and their communities and the other forms of peace building process. So in a nutshell, this is what Operation Safe Corridor is. And I think I should also say what Operation Safe Corridor is not. One, Operation Safe Corridor is not a place where you recruit people for the Nigerian Army. The Nigerian Army have its own set rules and procedures for recruiting people into the army. And one of the requirements is that once you have any criminal record, you can never join the Nigerian Army. And I think by extension, any security agencies. Operation Safe Corridor is not a place where you reward criminality by spoon-feeding them. No. The traditional justice, criminal justice system is running its course. Those that have been found guilty, they are being sentenced accordingly, and they are in the respective jails across the country. So, and there are other aspects that the time might not allow me. So we have the frequently asked question, which came out of various interactions we've had with Nigerians. We have documented those frequently asked questions as a form of pamphlet, which is going to be circulated around to all of you, so that at your own time you look at it and see some of those facts about Operation Safe Corridor and certain misinformation which have been addressed there. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.